Welcome to LASSClass. I'm your host, Peter Alexander, author of the Professional Orchestration Series. LASSClass has one purpose, and that's applied orchestration. Our musical objective is to push LA scoring strings to find out just what it will do, from unison octave combinations to detailed division writing. Because we're all busy working professionals, no LASSClass will exceed 10 minutes. If you have technical issues or questions about working with Contact, these are answered at the AudioBro website in the user forum. However, I do need to tell you that printing out a copy of Andrew's manual is a must. You do need the manual. There are two broad groups who bought LASS. The first are those older like myself who started out with pencil and paper, have a decent amount of live writing experience, often in jazz writing, and when we saw and heard that LASS would enable us to do division writing and more, we moved on it. The second group are those who mostly sequence and work with sample libraries, and for many in this group, division writing is new. I'll do my best to straddle both groups, but again, our emphasis on applied orchestration. If your primary focus has been on sequencing, well, you're going to learn a lot that you can apply right away. Many here who ordered LASS through Alexander Publishing received Professional Orchestration 2A, orchestrating the melody within the string section, and the spectratone chart. Both will be used here. If you bought LASS from Andrew or any other dealer, you're welcome to join us, but you will need the LASSClass scoring bundle, which you can find at alexanderpublishing.com. The first few classes will be open. After that, we'll be meeting in a closed forum at the Alexander Publishing website. And those who bought from Alexander Publishing will be getting some extra learning materials to say thank you for ordering from us. LASS has been recorded in such a way that there are 6 individual libraries that you combine to create various size string ensembles from full orchestral strings to string quintet. The 6th one, which doesn't get a lot of chatter, is a starting muted sustained strings library recorded with the mute on the strings. A full muted strings library comparable to the LASS library you have now is in development. Let's look at the organization of the first and second violins. Now, I'm spending most of my time here with the violins because whatever I say about them in terms of organization equally applies to the violas, cellos, and basses too. First chair means solo, so there's a solo violin library within LASS. Next are the groups A, B, and C. All 3 of these groups were recorded with different players, so they each have their own personality. Also within A, B, and C are the sustained muted strings. The full section is built from combining C plus B plus A. There are recorded muted strings within the large violin ensemble too. You have lots of options with LASS. You can work with the large string section, do division writing, create smaller string sections for different projects, and you can also do layering. Right now you have 16 first violins. You can combine groups C plus B or groups C plus A and create 12 first violins, a smaller string section. You can have 8 first violins and divide them into groups of 4 each. Between the first and second violins, you can create 2 string orchestras, each with 4 first violins. So the scoring opportunities are really something. You have a full 12-person viola section. Notice that the violas are organized the same way. You have a full 10-person cello section. Cellos have the same organization too. You have an 8-person bass section. Now, the great thing about the first chair bass is that you can create a smaller jazz feel and have a matching pizzicato bass. The divisi opportunities here with the basses are really unprecedented. You can have the C group sustain and groups A and B playing independent lines. This is pretty awesome. All right, now here's Lass in Contact. Notice that you have the choice of using either 16-bit or 24-bit libraries. Opening the 16-bit folder, here's the Lass 16-bit string library organized by the individual string sections. I've opened the first chair violin folder. My suggestion is to start here and to start first with the patch named Leg L or Legato L. That's the most basic patch for all the Lass instruments. This is from Chapter 1 of Professional Orchestration 2A, orchestrating the melody within the string section. But you can start with a number of different chapters. Notice it's organized left to right by the low, medium, high, and very high registers, and then registers in between. My suggestion to you is for the violins, play through some of the score excerpts. Pick one excerpt for each register. Then, starting with the first chair violin using Legato L, play through the examples you picked. Most of them are about 8 to 12 bars, so it won't take you that long to play through them. Then, and this is important, using the same examples you picked for the solo first chair, go through Lass Violins 1 with A, then B, then C, then the full ensemble. Now, repeat the process with Violins 2, then the violas, then the cellos, then the basses, picking the appropriate chapters in Volume 2A. I'll be the first to admit it that this approach sounds a bit pedantic, if not, for lack of a better expression, anal retentive. But here's the key. Rimsky-Korsakov once wrote that orchestration is composition, and that's true. But before orchestration is composition, it's first ear training, and that's where we're starting. Have fun. I'm Peter Alexander, and I'll see you in the next LASS class.